They thought it was over, that they got the right man, that justice was served. But what happens when the man you sentenced to life ain't even the right brother? Marcus Bell wasn't a loud man, didn't make a scene, didn't beg, didn't cry, because begging don't work. When they already made up their minds, the jury didn't look at him, not once, not when they played the footage, not when they showed grainy photos, not when he said, "That's not me," not even when his voice cracked. They had their villain, black hoodie, dreadlocks, wrong place, wrong skin. So they didn't care what else he had to say. Marcus had an alibi. He was at work, clocked in, cameras to prove it. But his lawyer didn't fight like his life was on the line. Because to them, Marcus was just another case, another number, another likely story. The prosecutor smirked like he already won, said Marcus was seen fleeing, said 3 witnesses picked him out, said the video clearly showed his face. They forgot one thing. Marcus has a twin, identical, but different in every way that matters. Marcus worked night shifts. Malik disappeared years ago. One walked the straight path. The other walked through shadows. And that shadow just walked back into the courtroom. Right before they dragged Marcus away, doors flew open. People gasped. Even the judge leaned forward, because there he stood. Same face, same height, same voice, but a scar above his eye, a gold chain around his neck, and the weight of guilt on his shoulders. Malik, the ghost. The brother no one had seen in years, until now. He didn't shout, didn't plead. He just walked up and dropped the truth like a bomb. "I killed him," he said, calm, cold, clear. "This man you're locking up? That's my brother. He had nothing to do with it. I did it, and I got proof." The courtroom erupted. Reporters fumbled with cameras. The judge went pale. And Marcus, he just stood there, still, silent, like he'd forgotten how to breathe. Malik pulled out his phone, played a video, time-stamped, audio clear. His voice, the murder, the panic, all of it. And just like that, everything flipped. The judge ordered Malik into custody, told the bailiff to unchain Marcus. But even as the cuffs came off, freedom didn't feel like victory, because Marcus didn't walk out of prison. He walked out of a lie, a setup, a system that almost buried him alive. And here's where it gets darker. As they dragged Malik toward the squad car, he turned, looked Marcus dead in the eyes, and said one thing they knew. The cops, the judge, all of them. "I was protected." Then he smiled, like the real trial hadn't even started yet, like this wasn't the end, but the beginning. "So you tell me, was Marcus the only one on trial, or was he just the easiest one to convict? Because when the truth walks in wearing the same face, what else are they hiding? They thought it was over. But the confession was just the beginning, because when Malik said, "They knew," it wasn't a throwaway line. It was a warning, a threat, and a key. Marcus didn't go home a free man. He went home a different man, one who had questions. And now he wanted answers. Why didn't the court check his alibi? Why was the video accepted without pause? Why did his lawyer barely fight? He asked his mother. She just cried. He asked his lawyer, got silence. He asked himself. And the answer made his stomach turn. Maybe they never wanted the truth, just a name to pin it on, a face to parade, a box to check, until the real killer confessed and ruined the script. Marcus started digging, found the arresting officer's name, Detective Harris, clean record, commendations, and a house. Paid off too fast. He checked the DA's office. The prosecutor, Darren Yule, same man who blocked Marcus's alibi witness. Same man seen meeting Malik before the trial began. Then came the documents. A tip from a janitor at the courthouse. Anonymous envelope. No return address. Inside, bank records, case files, phone logs. Detective Harris had received money transfers from a shell company owned by a consulting firm that didn't exist, run by a man named Raymond Alton. That name rang in Marcus's bones. He didn't know why, but it felt important. Then came the biggest twist. In one of Malik's prison calls, monitored and logged, he said, "They paid me to disappear. They said if I stayed gone, they'd leave you alone. I came back because they broke the deal. They were gonna kill you, Marcus. Kill him. Not lock him up. Not sentence him. Kill him." Suddenly, this wasn't about mistaken identity. It was a cover-up, a clean-up job. And Marcus was never supposed to survive. He took the files to a local reporter, young, hungry, didn't owe the system anything. She started digging, started asking real questions, and within 48 hours, her phone got tapped, her tires got slashed, her editor told her to drop the story. But she didn't, because this wasn't just a bad cop or a dirty prosecutor. This was organized, deliberate, systemic. Then the threats came. Marcus got a note under his door. No words, just a photo. His mother, walking out of church, circled in red marker, and one more line written on the back. "Go back to being lucky, or next time we won't miss." That night, Marcus sat in the dark, staring at the photo, holding the files, and realizing they're still watching, still listening, still pulling strings. But now, so was he. Because Malik didn't just confess, he named names, gave locations, mentioned a warehouse, a meeting spot where deals were made, and people were silenced. So Marcus made a plan. One visit, one night, one shot at exposing the truth. He grabbed a recorder, packed the evidence, told the reporter to stay close, and drove toward the edge of the city, to the address Malik whispered in that final call. Warehouse 14, by the docks. No cameras, no patrols, no witnesses. He stepped inside, dark, silent, smelled like oil and secrets. Then, a voice from the shadows. You just couldn't leave it alone, could you? Marcus froze, recognized the voice. Not from the courtroom, not from the station, from childhood, from his father's funeral. A man in a suit stepped into the light, Raymond Alton, smiling like he'd already won, again. You were supposed to be a loose end, he said, and now you've become a problem. Marcus hit record, heart racing, eyes locked in. He didn't know if he'd make it out, but if he did, the whole world was gonna know. Because when they tried to bury Marcus, they forgot something. He wasn't a body, he was a seed.